bathroom has mastectomy and fashion bras for every size. Bands from 30 to 56, cups from AA to P. We have sport, maternity, and nursing bras. We custom fit fashion bras with pockets for mastectomy clients. Our certified fitters help you find the perfect bra.
Women's flat track roller derby is played on a variety of floors and surfaces, including concrete, sport court, and wood. The track layout is 108 feet by 75 feet and is flat and oval. It also includes both outside lane and infield area for officials. You'll notice there are two primary lines across one side of the straightaway on the track. The back line is called the jammer line, and jammers must start each jam behind that line on the track. The other line is called the pivot line, and blockers start the jam anywhere on the track between the jammer line and the pivot line. Once the jam starts, the skaters are allowed to skate forward, pass these lines, and start making contact. But they must stay on the track at all times, if they can help it. Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right? Roller derby is a hard-hitting contact sport played on quad roller skates. The object of the game is simple: score a point for every opponent you pass. But getting there is not so simple. At the beginning of the jam, each team fields a jammer. The jammer is the skater with the star on her helmet, and she is the only one allowed to score points for her team. After the whistle, each jammer must make what's called their initial pass through the pack before they can start scoring points. On each subsequent pass, they can score 1 point for each opposing blocker they pass upright and inbounds on the track. If a jammer completely laps an opposing jammer, she can also earn a point for passing her. Each point is scored by the jammer's hips skidding past her opponents, not her skates, requiring speed, agility, and even a little creativity.
I'll do purple. Okay. Who's first, Alex? We're gonna make them purple. All right, sounds good.
Say, don't forget that we're doing live stream this time.
Oh, are we?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you got it working? That's awesome.
At least for now.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. We are streaming live from Court 1 Training Center, and we had some technical difficulties going on during the first bout of tonight's doubleheader, our junior bout, but you are adults bout. We've got the purple team, Capital Corruption, versus the green team, Vixens, all members of Lansing Roller Derby. Skating for the purple team, we have 104 Night Train, number 12 Emotional Jamage, number 19 Rosie Wrecker, number 2 Andy Wardall, number 21 Mick Jammer, number 22 Yar, number 29 Sarah Sasson, number 311 Mo Problems, number 3232 Annie DeSpanko, number 331 Hemlock, number 39 Meowch, number 44 Skulldozer, number 5 Can of Whoop-Ass, number 517 Highland Kapow, number 56 Deacon Bruce, number 7 Melody Checked, number 80 Nina Firecracker, number 86 Widowmaker, number 9 Bad Aptitude, number 93 Scrappy Goblin, and number 96 Betty Rocker. And this is Capital Corruption.
Announcing the green team, your
And they'll be skating against the Vixens tonight wearing green. Number 0, Barbie Flay. Number 10, Lucille Brawl. Number 101, Gadget Goes Berserk. Number 18, Hurterino. Number 3, Straga. Number 321, Demolition. Number 333, Land Fear. Number 45, Mother Tucker. Number 503, Cosmic Slams. Number 610, Cosmo. Number 68, Lame. Number 69, Rogue One. Number 70, Kriller Queen. Number 74, Gale Skaten. Number 76, Fury Rose. Number 789, Will Ferrell. Number 88, our anthem singer, Ready, Set, Riot. Social Smacktivist. Number 9-5, the Mind Killer. Number 999, Witch Slap. Number 15, Evasive Species.
For the referee, Axel Rose, Hook Cali, we have You Know I Know You Know, Kick Rocks, The Bean Flicker, Nutsack. Oh, and Biohazard. I forgot you again. Not my guy, sorry.
It looks like we've got teams lining up for our first jam of tonight's second bout of this doubleheader. We've got Andy Wardall on the jam line there for Capital Corruption. Going to be joined by, let's see, number 610, Cosmo of the Vixens. And that is a tight pack we have at the start things out. Number 2, Andy Wardall is going to be lead jammer. And Cosmo is out, trailing by about half a lap there. We got the pack moving pretty fast on the track here. Andy Wardall coming up against her first scoring pass, takes a hit to the outside, calls it off. And Andy Wardall did pick up 2 points there. Capital Corruption now on the board for 2. Vixens held scoreless in that jam. So we've got Kriller Queen, number 70, coming to the jam line for the Vixens. And this is number. And our purple jammer has gotten lead. I'll tell you who she is in just a second here. It is number 86, Widowmaker. First penalty of the game is called on Can of Whoop Ass. Oh no, Kriller Queen called out on a track cut. This is going to be a power jam for Capital Corruption. It is up to the Widowmaker to make the most of the next 30 seconds. Back is at a standstill, going into the turn. Widowmaker forced to the back of the pack there. Mother Tucker holding things down there for the Vixens at the front of the pack. Widowmaker putting 4 points on the board there for Capital Corruption. Bringing her up to 8 points for this jam. And that wall's breaking up. Widowmaker looking for a hole there in the middle. Oh, the tripod reforming, forcing the call off there from Widowmaker. Vixens yet again held scoreless in that jam. We've got no problems on the jam line there for Capital Corruption. Going to be joined by Witch Slap of the Vixens. Witch Slap takes a tumble there to the outside. And Witch Slap is going to be lead jammer, taking a hit there from Sarah Assassin. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Oh, Mind Killer just got called out on a penalty. I know that happened. Oh, and it looks like Hemlock also getting called out on a penalty. This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens. Oh, I spoke too quickly. Witch Slap also on her way to the penalty box. So as soon as Witch Slap comes into the penalty box, Hemlock will be released and Witch Slap will serve the exact same amount of time served by Hemlock. Hemlock, of course, taking a hit there from the Ghost Blocker. I have no idea who this Ghost Blocker is. They seem to make an appearance at every single bout I've ever been to. But Hemlock out there. And that was Hemlock's initial pass. Not going to be lead jammer. Witch Slap coming up against some serious resistance there in the pack from Capital Corruption. Night Train back in the action, hoping to change things up. Hemlock, meanwhile, coming into a scoring pass. Got to get past the Mind Killer. Basic Species also going to come in to assist. And Hemlock putting 4 points on the board there for Capital Corruption. And that was Witch Slap's initial pass. No lead jammer on this one. We're going to go to full 2 minutes. And Mind Killer putting a hit there on Hemlock. Hemlock getting called out on a track cut just as the jam is called off. Vixens now on the board, courtesy of Witch Slap for 4 points. And Hemlock getting called out just as the jam was called off. This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens. And we have number 3, Strega on the jam line. Strega, of course, also a member of Team Michigan, and Strega is going to be lead jammer. Team Michigan, of course, fresh off of their number 2 place at the Y'all-Stars tournament down in Louisiana. Strega coming up on that first scoring pass, hitting that 4 wall there of purple at the front of their back. Big hit from Sarah Assassin. Strega goes into the middle. And Strega getting called out on a track cut. We've got a power jam once again for Capital Corruption, and Hemlock is back in the mix here, coming up against Cosmo and Gale skating there in the pack. Flame also going to come in for an assist. And everybody's flying everywhere there in the pack. A big hit there from Flame at the front of the pack. Hemlock goes flying. Number 93, Scrappy Goblin, trying to break things up there for Hemlock. And the Vixens trailing by 15 at this point, not able to score points with their jammer in the box, but they're going to do their level best to keep Hemlock from adding to the Capital Corruption's total. And we've got both jammers back in, Strega back in the mix here. Highland Kapow has to let her go, and that is 4 points going on the board there for the Vixens, bringing them up to 7. Hemlock finally out on that initial pass. Strega going for a second scoring pass in this jam. Strega taking it slow, kind of slow out there. Coming up against Scrappy Goblin there in the pack. She is coming around for 4. Hemlock answering with 4 points of her own. Hemlock taking the lead there. Strega in hot pursuit. And Strega calls it off. That's going to bring the Vixens up to 11. Capital Corruption at 22. That evens things up a little bit. We have an 11-point game now in favor of Capital Corruption. Capital Corruption, of course, wearing green this evening. Vixens in... No, Capital Corruption wearing purple, I'm sorry. Vixens in green. We've got number 22, Yar, on the jam line for Capital Corruption. And this is Herderino, number 18, jamming for the Vixens. Hannah Whoop-Ass doing a dynamite job holding down that wall there, but Herderino still breaks through. Herderino's going to be lead jammer. Yar right on her tail there. Herderino putting on the afterburners there. Pack is moving fast. Herderino gets halfway through the back, calls it off. Herderino picking up 2 points there for the Vixens, and Capital Corruption held scoreless in that jam. Andy Wardall, number 2, coming to the jam line there for Capital Corruption. Griller Queen, number 70, joining her there for the Vixens. Got 5-on-5, and team captain Yar has just called a timeout for Capital Corruption. If you're watching this from the Mayfair Bar, make sure you stick around. Our after party is going to be there tonight at the conclusion of this bout. Tonight's theme is Y2K. So get out that body glitter and pluck those eyebrows into oblivion. We are time traveling back to 1999. And the team timeout has now morphed into an official timeout. thank you so much for bearing with us. Everyone watching the live stream, we had a parking snafu that we needed to get resolved. Apparently, that was why we had such a long time out there. And that was the 5 seconds whistle, so we're back into action here. Andy Wardall on the jam line for Capital Corruption. Kriller Queen for the Vixens, and Andy Wardall is lead jammer. Got a nice, and Andy Wardall coming around for that scoring pass. Green, black, and green kind of broken up there in the pack. Andy Wardall taking advantage, coming around for 4, calling it off, shutting out Kriller Queen there. Vixens held scoreless in that jam.
Capital Corruption with a 4-point lead there. Vixens 13, Capital Corruption 26.
And we have number 88, Ready, Set, Riot on the jam line there for the Vixens.
Ready, set, riot. Jamming up against number 8-6.
That is number 8-6, Widowmaker, jamming for Capital Corruption. Pack is tight, pack getting a little more spread out. Widowmaker finds a hole on the outside. It's going to be lead jammer. Nice hit there from Mick Jammer in the pack. Mother Tucker comes in for the assist, but 104 of the purple team. Night Train also going to come in, keep Riot trapped back there. Widowmaker, meanwhile, coming around for 4 points. Hit it and quit it, calls it off. That's going to bring Capital Corruption up to 30 points. Vixens at 13. We've got Barbie Flay on the jam line for the Vixens, up against Hemlock, jamming, number 331, jamming for the Capital Corruption. Got 5 and 5 out there, full pack, both teams. Hemlock's got to get past Lucille Brawl and Gail Skaten, and Hemlock is going to be lead jammer. Reality checked for some Barbie Flay to the back of that pack. Barbie Flay finds a hole on the inside and gets through. Hemlock coming up to that pack at full speed. Got a Sarah Sasson trying to let her in there. Hemlock calls it off first. 2 points going on the board. That jam for Capital Corruption. Vixens held scoreless, still at 13. So we've got 19-point game. Vixens at 13, Capital Corruption 32. We got Yar, number 22, back on the jam line there for Capital Corruption. Yar, of course, also doing double duty this season as a member of Team Michigan. And this is number 18, Herderino on the jam line for the Vixens. Yar is keeping the Vixens moving in this pack. Flame's going to force Yar all the way to the back, and Herderino is going to be lead jammer. Big hit there from Cosmo. Oh, Cosmo's going to go to the penalty box for that hit, looks like. Yar still on her initial pass there. Herderino, meanwhile, coming up for that first scoring pass. Herderino taking a tumble there, calling it off from the inside. It looks like Herderino did pick up all 4 points in that jam, so that's going to bring the Vixens up to 17. Andy Wardall back on the jam line for Capital Corruption. Kriller Queen, number 70, going to join her there for the Vixens. Landfear holding down that wall of green at the front of the pack. Bad Attitude, number 9, doing the same for Capital Corruption. And Kriller Queen finding the hole on the inside, going to be lead jammer. Andy Wardall taking a hit off of Rogue One there. Rogue One chasing her to the front of the pack. Andy Wardall just a little bit faster. Pack's moving fast out there. Kriller Queen coming in for a scoring pass, taking a hit off of Annie DeSpanko there. Kriller Queen scores 3, calls it off. Vixens catching up to the Capital Corruption little by little here. That's going to bring the Vixens up to 20. Capital Corruption still at 62. And we have just over 16 minutes left to go in this first half. We got Ready, Set, Riot, number 88, back on the jam line for the Vixens. This is Widowmaker, number 88, returning to the jam line for Capital Corruption. Coming up against Mother Tucker and Gail Skaten, holding down that line of Vixens to the front of the pack. Gail Skaten using those shoulders like a lethal weapon. Mother Tucker getting the hit. Widowmaker falls to the ground. Mother Tucker, no stranger to the track, knows exactly how far back she can go. And Widowmaker getting called out on a track cut. This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens. Oh, Mother Tucker getting called out on a forearm. This is Ready, Set, Riot going to be lead jammer. This could be just what the Vixens need to take the lead back from Capital Corruption. We're just going to have to see what Riot can do out here. Purple's got a two-wall there at the front of the pack. Green pivot trying to break that up here. Gail Skaten also going to come in on reality checked in the pack. Ready, Set, Riot on that first scoring pass. Gail Skaten opening a wall there, but Mick Jammer a little bit too quick there for Riot. Mother Tucker back in the mix here. And Ready, Set, Riot taking a ride on Mother Tucker all the way through the pack, and she's coming around for 4 points. Widowmaker, meanwhile, back in the action. I believe this is Widowmaker's initial pass here. Oh, I was wrong. That was her first scoring pass. Widowmaker coming around for 4. Ready, Set, Riot already put 6 points on the board for the Vixens in this jam, and Riot calls it off. And Ready, Set, Riot did score 2 more points there, bringing her up to 6 for this jam, but Widowmaker put 4 of her own on the board for Capital Corruption. But things are catching up. Capital Corruption at 36, Vixens at 28, so just an 8-point game. Not a wide margin at all. We're just going to have to see how things play out in the rest of this first half. And we have Witch Slap, number 999, returning to the jam line for the Vixens. That's Hemlock, 331. Nope, Mope jamming for the Capital Corruption. And Witch Slap is going to be lead jammer. Hemlock looks like she's catching up out there. Pack's going at warp speed out there. Barbie Flay at the front, keeping things moving. Sarah Sasson lying in wait there for Witch Slap. Oh, Witch Slap sent to the penalty box there. This is going to be a power jam for Capital Corruption. And Hemlock's already put 4 points on the board. And Vixens clustered up at the front of that pack. Sarah Sasson trying to break things through there for Hemlock. The Mind Killer trying to reform there at the front of the pack. Barbie Flay doing some nice bridging. And Demolition has to let her go. That's another 4 points going on the board for Hemlock, bringing her up to 8 points for this jam. Pack's at a standstill. Highland Kapow holding things down for Capital Corruption out there. Witch Slap back in the mix. But the Mind Killer and Cosmic Slap not making it easy for Hemlock out there. Sarah Sasson gonna put a big hit on Witch Slap. Witch Slap forced to the back of the pack yet again by Sarah Sasson. Mind Killer and Hemlock go tumbling down on the outside. Mind Killer still going to force Hemlock to the back of that pack. We've got some really intense blocking going on tonight. Both teams looking good out there. But It looks like the Vixens did put 4 more points on the board. Capital Corruption answering with 3 more. So 11-point jam there for Hemlock, 4 points for Witch Slap. Got Yar, number 22, back on the jam line for Capital Corruption. Kriller Queen, number 70, jamming for the Vixens. And Andy DeSpanko putting the shutout there on Kriller Queen on the outside. Deacon Bruce also going to come in to assist. Deacon and oh no, Deacon Bruce called out on a track cut. This is a power jam for Capital Corruption. Yar is not lead jammer. We're going to go the full 2 minutes. Strega gathering the Vixens there at the front of the pack, waiting in anticipation for Yar to come around on the scoring pass. Yar coming through that wall like a stick of dynamite. Deacon Bruce also coming in to help break things up for Yar. Strega leading Yar to the back of the pack. Strega and Yar, of course, both also members of Team Michigan, 2 very seasoned veterans indeed of Lansing Roller Derby. Lane and Landfear doing a nice job holding that wall together at the front of the pack. Lucille Brawl, also longtime Lansing veteran, going to come in to assist. Kriller Queen out. Oh, and Kriller Queen immediately picks up another track cut penalty. Still a power jam for Capital Corruption. Yar now on the board for 4 points. Got the pack kind of spread out a little bit there on the turn. Pack starts moving as Yar approaches. Strega keeping things in motion there. Landfear coming to the back of the pack. Not quite sure what's going on. But Strega keeping that wall tight. Yar more or less trapped in the pack. Jam's called off just as Deacon Bruce comes back. But Yar did put 6 points on the board there for Capital Corruption. That brings them up to 53. Vixens at 32. We have just under 10 minutes left to go in this first half. We have Cosmo, number 610, on the jam line for the Vixens. Andy Wardall, number 2, jamming for Capital Corruption. Andy Wardall kind of sneaking around Cosmo there a little bit, but she's got a tangle with Evasive Species and the social smacktivist. Herderino also coming in to assist. The great recycling there from Canna Whoop-Ass. Canna Whoop-Ass looking Cosmo in the eyes. Cosmo knocks her right over, but Andy Wardall is lead jammer. Andy Wardall coming around for that scoring pass. 4 points on the board for Capital Corruption. Cosmo, meanwhile, going for the star pass. First star pass of this bout. Herderino, number 18, coming away with a star. Andy Wardall not slowing down. And I spoke too quickly. Andy Wardall calls it off. Holding the Vixens yet held scoreless yet again in that jam, but Andy Wardall put 6 points on the board there for Capital Corruption. We got Widowmaker, number 86, returning to the jam line for the Corruption. Ready, set, riot, 88, jamming for the Vixens. 5-on-5 out there in the pack. Ready, set, riot, looking to get a hole on the inside. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Widowmaker getting past Gail Skaten there, becoming lead jammer. Number 81 there of Capital Corruption, putting the hurt there on Riot. Looks like Riot's going for the star pass. She's still holding the star, hasn't quite passed it to Gail Skaten yet. Meanwhile, Widowmaker coming around for 4 points. Widowmaker coming up against Riot in the pack. Oh, Widowmaker getting called out on a penalty. This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens. So we're just going to have to see what Herderino can do in the next 30 seconds. Oh, Gale skating, rather. And Pack's moving pretty slow. They're all the way on the other side of the track for me, so I can't tell you exactly what's going on because I'm not sure. It looks like the Capital Corruption is successfully blocking Gale from putting that star on her helmet, and yes, blockers are allowed to do that. Widowmaker out of that penalty box, meanwhile, coming in hot for 4 points for Capital Corruption. Jam is called off. Vixens held scoreless yet again. Capital Corruption up to 67. Vixens trailing at 32. And we have just over 5 minutes left to go in this first half. I've got Witch Slap coming back to the jam line for the Vixens. And yeah, I believe this is Meowch jamming for the first time this evening for Capital Corruption.
And that is Meowch.
Pack is holding together nice and tight. Anna Despanko denying Witch Slap the inside there. Green lining up, Demolition and Kriller Queen keeping things tight at the front of the pack. Meowch forced all the way to the back there. Courtesy of Mutton, big hit there from Mother Tucker. Meowch goes down. Pack moving backwards, it seems like. Hemlock trying to do some bridging there. Witch Slap trying to go for the inside there. Highland Kapow has something to say about that. We've got a we've got Pivot and Jammer tangled there on the outside. Demolition and Mother Tucker ganging up there on Meowch. Annie Despanko coming to try to break things up a bit. And Witch Slap is going to be lead jammer. And uh-oh, looks like we got a skater down. lining up for the next jam, and that's Bobby. That's Barbie Flay skating to the jam line there for the Vixens. And Yar putting the star on for Capital Corruption. Both jammers hitting that pack at full force. Barbie Flay finding a hole on the inside. Barbie Flay is going to be lead jammer. Yar, meanwhile, still looking for that hole. Looks kind of trapped behind Flame there at the back of the pack. Barbie Flay coming around for four. Vixens making a bit of a comeback already in this jam. And Barbie Flay is going fast, fast, fast. Yar is finally out. And Barbie coming up against that wall of purple. Middle of the pack calls it off. Barbie Flay put 2 more points on the board. 6-point jam there for the Vixens. Capital Corruption held scoreless. We've got number 2, Andy Wardall on the jam line for Capital Corruption. Number 18, Herderino, coming to the jam line for the Vixens. And Herderino looking for a hole on the inside. Kind of bounces a little bit off of Skulldozer there. And Canna Whoop-Ass forcing Herderino all the way to the back of that pack. Skulldozer lying in wait, trying to hit Herderino to the outside. And Andy Wardall having problems of her own up at the front with that wall of green. Andy Wardall almost out, tangling with Evasive Species there at the front of the pack. And Andy Wardall is going to be lead jammer. And Lanfear going to come in and have a sit in the sin bin. Going to be joined by Evasive Species, so we've got a 2-on-4 pack situation out there. Andy Wardall, meanwhile, taking full advantage, coming around for 4 points. Social Smacktivist, meanwhile, taking the star there for the Vixen. Star Pass achievement unlocked. Social Smacktivist out of that pack at last. Andy Wardall coming around for another 4 points. 8-point jam so far for Wardall. Social Smacktivist coming around on that first scoring pass. 4 points on the board there for Social Smacktivist. Vixen's up to 42. Andy Wardall not slowing down, trying to take a whip off of Canna Whoop-Ass there at the front of the pack, but she has to tangle with that wall of green. Breaks it up like it's nothing. Another 4 points on the board for Wardall there. Pack is tight there just before turn 2. Andy Wardall looking to get another scoring pass. Goes all the way. Strega's forcing Andy all the way to the back of that pack. Skulldozer going to come in, try to assist. Ed, Social Smacktivist did steal 6 points there in that jam. 12-point jam for Andy Wardall. That's going to bring Capital Corruption up to 82. Vixens trailing at 44. We just have a few seconds left to go in this first half. Time for one. Let's see if we've got time for one more jam. It certainly looks that way. Kriller Queen is on the jam line for the Vixens. And this is this is Widowmaker, number 86, jamming for the Capital Corruption. Rogue One tangling with Widowmaker, has to let her go. Widowmaker is going to be lead jammer. Kriller Queen looking for the hole. Nice blocking there from Night Train and Mick Jammer. Oh, Widowmaker coming in to have a sit in the sin bin. This is going to be a power jam for Kriller Queen, and Kriller Queen is going to be lead jammer. Pack is spread out a little bit. Night Train tried to do some bridging there. Kriller Queen coming around on that first scoring pass. Nice hit there at the front of the pack, courtesy of one of the Capital Corruption, but doesn't stop. Kriller Queen coming around for 4. Widowmaker back in the mix here. Just a reminder, the jam clock keeps going after the period clock has ended. We're going to have intermission right after this. Kriller Queen breaking through. Widowmaker out of the pack on that initial pass. Kriller Queen coming around for 4 more points. 8-point jam so far for Kriller Queen. Widowmaker coming up on that first scoring pass. Kriller Queen calls it off. And we are going to end this first half with the Vixens at 52, Capital Corruption at 82. 30-point game. But still, anything can happen. The Vixens could just very well steal this back in the second half. And we're just going to have to wait and see. I'll be back to you in 15 minutes.
The Mitten Mavens are a local roller derby organization, a 501c4 in the East Lansing area. Roller derby is super important in our community and for our culture because it gives women the opportunity to be aggressive and to be strong, to be vocal, and to be proud about their bodies no matter what sizes and shapes that they are. Our recruiting process happens all year round. We're an open enrollment organization, which means that people can join at any time throughout the year. However, we do host biannual boot camps, which are the best time for people to join. We run one in the beginning of the winter, so in January, and then we run a second in the summer, usually starting about June. And during those boot camps, we train people who have never skated before. You don't need any experience at all. You can support them at Mavens by coming to our home bounce. That's the best way you can support the Mavens, because not only does it grow the awareness of the sport, it grows our fan base, which we love to have as many fans as possible at our home bouts. So you can also get involved with this league by joining as a non-skating official or a referee or a volunteer. You can check us out at www.eastlansingrollerderby.com.
bathroom has mastectomy and fashion bras for every size. Bands from 30 to 56, cups from AA to P. We have sport, maternity, and nursing bras. We custom fit fashion bras with pockets for mastectomy clients. Our certified fitters help you find the perfect bra.
So welcome back. We are just getting started with the second half of this second bout of tonight's doubleheader. We've got Kriller Queen on the jam line for the Vixens in green. Hemlock wearing the star for Capital Corruption in purple. And Kriller Queen is going to be lead jammer. And not sure what's going on with Hemlock there. Hemlock looking to get the star pass there. Nice blocking from Barbie Flay there in the back of the pack. Kriller Queen, meanwhile, on that initial scoring pass, 4 points on the board there for Kriller Queen. And we start this second half with the Vixens trailing at 56, Capital Corruption at 82. So any edge that Vixens can get is a good one, and Kriller Queen finding an edge there, coming around for 4 more points. Hemlock still trapped in the pack. Hemlock getting the star pass there to Meowch. And Meowch doesn't quite have that star on her helmet yet, but she's got it in her hand. That makes her the jammer. Nice wall there from purple. Kriller Queen goes tumbling takes a blocker with her. Bad attitude's got to let her go. That's another 4 points for Kriller Queen. 12-point jam so far for the Vixens. Meowch still on that initial pass. Nice blocking there from the Mind Killer and Barbie Flay. Another 4 points for Kriller Queen. 16-point jam for the Vixens. Catching right up to Capital Corruption now at 68. Capital Corruption at 82. 14-point game here. Meowch still on that initial pass. And another 4 points. Make that a 20-point jam for the Kriller Queen. Amazing blocking there, courtesy of the Vixens, making a real comeback so far in the second half. And Kriller Queen calls it off. What a jam, 24-point jam to get this second half started right. Catching things up on the scoreboard. Vixens now at 76, Capital Corruption at 82. Kriller Queen single-handedly taking this from a 30-point game to a 7-point game. We got Ready, Set, Riot on the jam line for the Vixens, joined by Widowmaker of Capital Corruption. Widowmaker is going to be lead jammer. Widowmaker seeing that 24-point jam from Kriller Queen earlier and says, I got to do something about that. Widowmaker on that scoring pass coming up against Flame in the pack. They got to let her go. 4 points going on the board for the Widowmaker. Looks like Cosmo cut into the penalty box for that block. We got to do a little blocker pinball there in the penalty box. Ready, Set, Riot, meanwhile, still on her initial pass. Oh, nice hit there from Sarah Assassin there on Flame. Flame taking the star there for the Vixens. And nice, great single-handed blocking there, courtesy of Lucille Brawl in the pack on the Widowmaker. Oh, and Flame with the helmet cover in her hand sets the penalty box. This is a power jam for Capital Corruption. Oh, and Widowmaker calls it off from the ground, so it's like that is a 8-point jam there, courtesy of Capital Corruption. So we're going to start this power jam off with Andy Wardall, number 2, wearing the star for Capital Corruption. Flame still cooling her wheels in the penalty box there for the Vixens. And Andy Wardall making quick work of that pack. And Vixens got to let her go. Andy Wardall is going to be lead jammer. Capital Corruption just 10 points below that first century mark. And she's coming up against Cosmic Slams in the pack. Reality Check's trying to break things up there. Flame, meanwhile, fresh out of the penalty box, coming up against number 81 and number 14 there in the pack. Number 81, number 14, not on my list here. Can't tell you who they are. Sorry about that. And that's 4 points for Andy Wardall. Andy Wardall coming around for another 4 points. And we have a star pass there to Herderino of the Vixens. Herderino hitting Andy Wardall to the outside. Herderino coming through that pack, making it look easy. 4 points on the board for the Vixens. Andy Wardall I spoke too quickly. Andy Wardall calls it off. That is 3 more points going on the board for Capital Corruption there. 11-point jam for Andy Wardall. And the Capital Corruption now officially over the century mark at 101. Vixens trailing at 80. And this is Witch Slap number 999 returning to the jam line for the Vixens. And You Know I Know You Know has called an official timeout. And the timeout is over. We're back into action. 5-on-5 out there in the pack. Number 999, Witch Slap on the jam line for the Vixens. Number 22, Yar, jamming for Capital Corruption. And the Witch Slap taking the outside is going to be lead jammer. We got a star pass there from Yar. It is Deacon Bruce, number 56, taking the star for the first time this evening. Mother Tucker forcing her to the back. Big hit there from number 81 on Capital Corruption. Mother Tucker doing her best to help Witch Slap along in the back of the pack. Witch Slap finding the hole and takes it. 4 points on the board for Witch Slap. Deacon Bruce doesn't quite... Oh, Deacon Bruce has a star on her head. It's just on sideways. I didn't quite see it. Pack is going at lightning speed. And Witch Slap is just a little bit faster, coming up on that pack fast. Deacon Bruce tries to call it, but I don't think she can. She's not lead. Well, maybe she can. Jam's been called off. And looks like Deacon Bruce managed to steal a point there for Capital Corruption, bringing them up to 102. Vixens now at 85. We've got a 17-point game. And we are just barely into this first half. I mean, the second half, rather. Sorry. Because there is no more derby after this half. But after this half, we are going to be partying at the Mayfair Bar. Those of you watching this from the Mayfair, hope you stick around to join us. We'll be right there after this bout is over. Tonight's theme is Y2K. Barbie Flay on the jam line for the Vixens. Barbie Flay is going to be lead. Jammer, everything's moving so fast. This is very confusing. Hemlock is jamming for Capital Corruption. Hemlock and Barbie Flay tangling with each other on the turn. Pack yet again moving at warp speed. Barbie Flay reaching that pack first, calling it off midway through. And Toxic Shock says Barbie did pick up 2 points in that jam. Capital Corruption held scoreless. We got Kriller Queen returning to the jam line for the Vixens. This is Widowmaker, number 86, jamming for Capital Corruption. We got a 2-on-4 pack, Bad Aptitude and Skulldozer cooling their wheels in the penalty box. So Vixens at a slight advantage here, but Mick, Jammer, and Night Train tough enough for tough enough for the whole team. But Kriller Queen still breaks through. He's gonna be lead jammer. Nice hit there from Evasive Species. Widowmaker goes tumbling. Kriller Queen, meanwhile, on that first scoring pass. That's 4 points for the Kriller Queen. Bad Attitude turning to the track. Both teams now at full strength. Widowmaker coming around on that initial pass. Kriller Queen coming around for 4. Kriller Queen, remember, had that dynamite 24-point jam at the beginning of this second half. But this time, Kriller Queen's going to call it good after 8. But that still brings the Vixens up to 95. Capital Corruption at 102. So we have just a 7-point lead. Things could really go either way, and we'll just have to see how things turn out. Vixens 5 points below that century mark at 95. Capital Corruption 102. We got Herderino back on the jam line for the Vixens. That is Andy Wardall, number 2, jamming for Capital Corruption. Oh, Flame's got to let her go. Andy Wardall is going to be lead jammer. Herderino tangling with somebody there, one of the Capital Corruption crew. Deacon Bruce has to let her go. Herderino's out. This is Andy Wardall's initial scoring pass. First scoring pass. Lanfear's putting a nice block on there, taking a cue from the bench. Wardall calls it off. Wardall did pick up 2 points there for Capital Corruption. So we have Witch Slap number 999 returning to the jam line for the Vixens. And Witch Slap is going to be your lead jammer. This is number 39, Meowch, jamming for Capital Corruption. Meowch going for the star pass there. Sarah Sassa, number 29, picking up the star for Capital Corruption. Oh, star pit, and the star cover is on the ground. Not really sure what's going to happen with that. That's interesting. Oh, Witch Slap jam's been called off. I believe that was a ref call off. Witch Slap headed to the penalty box. So whatever we have going on, this next jam is going to be a power jam for the Capital Corruption. We're on an official timeout. Vixens timeout's over. We're getting back into action. 5 seconds has been called. And this is going to be a power jam for the Capital Corruption. Yar, number 22, wearing the star. Pack's moving fast. Mind Killer coming in for the block there. Yar shrugs it off, and Yar's going to be lead jammer. And Mother Tucker out of that penalty box looking to break things up in the pack for, I was going to say her jammer, but her jammer's still in the penalty box. Yar on that first scoring pass, meanwhile. Pack's kind of spread out. Vixens holding strong. Nice hit there from Strega. Mother Tucker holding that floor wall down in the front of the pack. Strega coming to the back to break up the purple wall for Witch Slap. Witch Slap freshly out of the penalty box looking to score some points. Of course, that was Witch Slap's initial pass. And Yar calls it off. Yar did pick up 2 points there for Capital Corruption. That's going to bring them up to 106. Vixens at 95. Now, Capital Corruption has kept a lead throughout all of tonight's game, but Vixens sometimes pretty far away from taking the lead, and sometimes now just 11 points away. 11 points, as we know, is not much in roller derby. And we've got Hemlock back on the jam line for Capital Corruption. Number 0, Barbie Flay jamming for the Vixens. Nice hit there from number 14. And Barbie Flay is going to be lead jammer. And jam's been called off. And it looks like Hemlock picked up 2 points there for the Capital Corruption. Vixens picking up 1. That's going to bring the Vixens up to 96. Capital Corruption 108. 12-point game. Let's see what happens with Kriller Queen, number 70, on the jam line for the Vixens. This is, I'm not sure who's jamming for Capital Corruption. I can't see their number. Oh, this is Scrappy Goblin, number 93, jamming for the first time this evening for Corruption. And Kriller Queen is going to be lead jammer. Scrappy Goblin hit twice on her initial pass. Make that 3 times. I think that last hit was courtesy of Lucille Brawl. This is Scrappy Goblin is finally out. And this is Kriller Queen's initial pass. No, initial scoring pass, rather. Lucille Brawl doing a nice job holding down that line. Flame also going to come in to assist. Nice hit from Lucille Brawl there on Scrappy Goblin on the inside. But Kriller Queen's got problems of her own there in the pack. Number 44 holding down that wall. Oh, never mind. Kriller Queen is out for 4 points, and the Vixens are officially at the century mark at 100 points. Scrappy Goblin coming in for the scoring pass. Scrappy Goblin looking to get the star pass there to Sarah Sasson. Kriller Queen going for a second scoring pass. Sarah Sasson taking the star for Capital Corruption now. And that's 4 more points there for Kriller Queen. Herderino signaling to Kriller to call it off. And call it off she does. 8-point jam there for the Vixens. That's going to bring them to 104. Capital Corruption at 111. So closing up the gap a little bit, even though Sarah Sasson did put 3 points on the board there for Capital Corruption. We got Widowmaker, number 86, back on the jam line for the Capital Corruption. This is... I believe that is Herderino, and number 18 jamming for the Vixens. Widowmaker is... Oh, I was going to say she was going to come out first, but Rogue One and Gail Skaten have something to say about that. Rogue One has to let her. Rogue One going to the penalty box for that block, and Widowmaker is going to be lead jammer. But Herderino's out. Herderino's got a little over half a lap. Widowmaker catching up to that pack. Halfway through the pack, Widowmaker decides to call it off. Widowmaker's picking up all 4 points there. Capital Corruption now at 115. Vixens held scoreless. We've got number 999 Witch Slap back on the jam line for the Vixens. That's number 2 Andy Wardall jamming for Capital Corruption. Andy Wardall coming right up against Mother Tucker in the pack. Now Mind Killer sends Andy Wardall tumbling. Mind Killer going for another hit. Strega also going to come in for a hit, and strategy pays off with. Oh, Andy Wardall is lead jammer, even though Witch Slap is in front. Andy Wardall, no choice but to call it. Double goose egg on that jam. Barbie Flay coming back to the jam line for the Vixens. Yar, number 22, also going to jam for Capital Corruption. We've got just over 12 minutes left to go in this bout. Bad Attitude holding down that line of Corruption there in the pack. Looks like we have a... Nope, it's 4. We got a 4-on-3 situation. Barbie Flay coming up against Scrappy Goblin in the pack, and she's out by a nose is Yar. Yar is going to be lead jammer. Barbie Flay hoping to force a call off. Our jammers are neck and neck, keeping it moving. Yar doing a nice job keeping Barbie Flay in the back. Everybody we all fall down on the straightaway. It's like a double goose egg on that jam. We got Cosmo, number 610 on the jam line for the Vixens. Hemlock, number 331, wearing the star for Capital Corruption. 5-on-5, no one in the penalty box so far. Yar's like, oh crap, I'm not supposed to be on the track. Oh, big hit there on a Vixen to get this jam started off. Hemlock goes flying. Invasive Species coming in for another hit, sends herself to the ground. Flame, meanwhile, has to tangle with, not sure who that is, of the Vixens in the back, number 14. And Hemlock is going to be lead jammer. Cosmo looking to get the Star Pass. Star Pass achievement unlocked. I believe that is Landfear, number 333, taking the star there. And of course, Corruption can block her from putting the helmet cover on her head. That's what they're doing. Packs kind of split up here on the turn. Landfear does have that star cover on her helmet now. Hemlock coming up against Mick Jammer and Evasive Species in the pack. Flame also holding things down, making things very difficult for Hemlock. Number 76, Fury Rose, doing some nice bridging there for the Vixens. Hemlock on her first scoring pass. Evasive Species not letting up there. Nice blocking from Evasive Species. Demolition also coming in for an assist. Landfear coming up against the back of the pack. Oh, we've got a Capital Corruption blocker headed to the penalty box. 3-on-1 out there. Micked Jammer and Sarah Sasson are going to send Landfear tumbling. A lot of really intense blocking out there. You love to see it. Evasive Species, man, just will not let up on Hemlock. Jam finally called off. Brutal jam there, but Vixens did manage to put, no, Capital Corruption did manage to put 4 points on the board. Vixens held scoreless. We have Flame, number 68 on the jam line for the Vixens. It's Widowmaker, number 86, jamming for Capital Corruption. And Deacon Brews doing a dynamite job holding that wall together. Deacon Brews has to let Flame go. Flame is going to be lead jammer. Widowmaker stuck in the pack there behind Gale Skating and Social Smacktivist. Cosmic Slam's going to come in for an assist there. Flame starting her scoring pass. Widowmaker still trapped on her initial. Oh, Widowmaker's almost out, and Social Smacktivist sends her to the ground. Cosmic Slams has to let her go. Widowmaker's out, will not be your lead jammer. And nice hit there, courtesy of Canna Whoop-Ass, but Flame already has her 4 points. Flame's gonna keep right on going. Oh, Flame does call it off, but not before the Widowmaker picks up 4 points there for the Vixens. That's gonna bring the Vixens up to 108, Capital Corruption at 123. Yar back on the jam line for Capital Corruption. We got Kriller Queen, number 70 for the Vixens. And if Kriller Queen can manage to put up another 24-point jam, the Vixens will take the lead for the first time this evening. And we have just under 8 minutes left to go in this second half. And Yar taking a little bit of a boxer stance there on the jam line. Oh, Yar is going to be your lead jammer. Kriller Queen not too far behind. Kriller Queen hoping to force a call off at the very least. But Yar signaling the pack to keep on going, keep it moving, keep the speed up. Yar zipping through that pack and calls it off. Yar scoring 2 points there for Capital Corruption. Kriller Queen held it scoreless. Vixens at 108, Capital Corruption up to 125. Andy Wardall back on the jam line for the Capital Corruption. Ready, Set, Riot, number 88, joining her back there for the Vixens. Now, Witch Slap chilling out in the penalty box, 3-on-4 pack. Andy Wardall spinning around Strega. She's got to get past Lucille Brawl. And Andy Wardall is lead jammer. Ready, Set, Riot. Big hit there from Sarah Sasson. Ready, Set, Riot was so close. Now Sarah Sasson forcing her to the back, but Strega there put a nice hit on Andy Wardall. And now I'm not sure who, somebody forcing Ready, Set, Riot to the back of the pack. Andy Wardall tangling with Lucille Brawl at the front of the back, tries to call it. And the ref finally sees, calls it off. Lucille Brawl head up to the penalty box for that hit. Strega, I thought Strega would be joining her, I guess not. Capital Corruption increasing their lead little by little here. Capital Corruption now at 129. Vixen still at 108. Held scoreless for the last couple jams. Let's see if Herderino can change that in this jam, but she's going up against Hemlock, number 331 of Capital Corruption. Beacon Blues has Herderino in her sights there. Demolition trying to break up the wall. Demolition goes falling. Nice hit there from Cosmo. And the jam's called off. Not too sure what happened there. I think the refs called that one, but doesn't look like anyone's hurt. That's a good thing. Might have a little track repair situation going on. I'm not really sure. And the refs have called a timeout.
Penalties are going to be assessed accordingly. And it's not going to go in the Vixens' favor.
Well, the jam timer, never mind. Just as the jam timer calls 5 seconds, I know, has called in another official timeout. It looks like we got to do a little bit of communicating with our penalty box officials here. It looks like we've got 2 Vixens in the penalty box. The third got called off for a penalty, but you can only fit 2 blockers in the penalty box at a time. So Mother Tucker's going to go out and serve her penalty as soon as she's signaled to by the penalty box officials. Widowmaker, meanwhile, still jamming. No pack's been called. Flame up there doing a... And Widowmaker is going to be lead jammer. Herderino not too far behind. Lucille Brawl witch slap getting released back in the action here. Penalty box manager holding up the side, signaling for Mother Tucker. Mother Tucker hauling it over to the penalty box. And Widowmaker put 2 points on the board for Capital Corruption. So that lead still steadily increasing. Capital Corruption now at 131. Vixens at 108. We have 4.5 minutes left to go. And the Capital Corruption, oh, never mind. It's the Vixens have called a team timeout.
Looks like the Vixens are going to discuss their game plan going forward. They are down by just a couple of points.
So we're lining back up for the next jam. 5 seconds has been called. We have Kriller Queen on the jam line for the Vixens. And this is Hemlock jamming again for Capital Corruption. Big hit from Evasive Species, but Hemlock has already been called lead jammer. But Hemlock and Lanfear doing some nice teamwork there. That's what we call it. We don't call it ganging up on someone in Derby. We call it teamwork. Kriller Queen, meanwhile, stuck at the back of that pack. Nice blocking there from number 14, number 81 of Capital Corruption. Hemlock, meanwhile, finally out. Mother Tucker coming out of the penalty box. Evasive Species taking a seat there. And the jam is called off. It looks like Hemlock did put 2 points on the board there for Capital Corruption. That's going to bring them up to 134. Vixens at 108, and we have just 3.5 minutes left in this bout. Barbie Flay, number 0, back on the jam line for the Vixens. Number 22, Yar is jamming for Capital Corruption. And that pack is staying tight. Anna DeSpanko doing a nice job holding down that line of Capital Corruption in the front. And our jammers are neck and neck, but it is Yar is our lead jammer. Barbie Flay overtaking her, hoping to force a call off. Pack is moving at warp speed. Deacon Bruce leading the way. And Barbie Flay forces the call off there from Yar. Double goose egg on that jam. 2.5 minutes left. We're lining up for the next jam. It is Scrappy Goblin, number 93, on the jam line for the Capital Corruption. 88, Ready, Set, Riot, wearing the star for the Vixens. Evasive Species didn't even have time in that last jam to finish her penalty. She's still standing in the penalty box here. 3-on-4 pack. Night Train holding the line down for the Capital Corruption there. Mind Killer doing the same for the Vixens. Scrappy Goblin fighting against that wall of green, but they seem to be everywhere on the track. Night Train, Mick Jammer, Sarah Sasson lining up in the front, boxing in Riot. Andy Wardall also going to come in to assist. And the pack knows they're almost exactly 10 feet apart. Strega, meanwhile, is going to force Scrappy Goblin all the way to the back of that pack. Strega turning into a one-woman blocking machine there, hitting Scrappy Goblin to the outside. And Strega, also of Team Michigan, knows exactly how far she can take it to the back. And she's hitting Scrappy Goblin again. And Bryant is going to be lead jammer. Scrappy Goblin, meanwhile, looking to get the star pass there. Sarah Sasson, and the helmet cover is on the track. Scrappy Goblin picks it back up, and a little miscommunication with the refs there. Scrappy Goblin, helmet cover in hand, is sent to the penalty box. This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens. Ready, set, riot, remember, did pick up lead jam there. This is her first scoring pass. Sarah Sasson trying to block Ready, Set, Riot there in the back. Mick Jammer also kind of come in for an assist. Oh, jam's been called off. Riot did pick up 3 points in that jam. Capital Corruption held scoreless, but Scrappy Goblin is standing. That means she has 10 seconds or less left in the penalty box. We have 21 seconds left to go in this bout. This is going to be the last jam of the evening, and it's going to be a power jam for the Vixens. We're just going to have to see what Witch Slap can do in the next 2 minutes. Assuming the jam goes that long. Probably not. We'll just have to wait and see. And the Capital Corruption starts this pack out moving fast. Witch Slap tangling with Widowmaker there in the pack, and they have to, and Scrappy Goblin coming right out of the penalty box to pick up lead jam. Witch Slap getting forced to the back of the pack there, courtesy of, I'm not sure who. Rogue One holding things down together at the front of the pack. They're lying in wait for Scrappy. And Scrappy's getting sent to the penalty box. That's why that call-off was a no-go. Still back to being a power jam for the Vixens. Big hit there from Capital Corruption. Oh, yeah, I should have known that. That was Skulldozer putting that hit on. That was a nice hit. Bad Attitude also going to come in for an assist. Another hit there, courtesy of Skulldozer. Mick Jammer also going to force Witch Slap to the outside. Oh, that was Widowmaker. And the Capital Corruption all spread out. Big hit there from number 81, but Witch Slap keeps on going. That was Witch Slap's first pass, and a very, very hard-fought first pass it was. Scrappy Goblin, meanwhile, out of that penalty box looking to score some points. Coming up against Herderino in the pack. Herderino forcing her to her knees there. Scrappy Goblin all the way to the back. This is Witch Slap's scoring pass. Just tangling with Skulldozer again in the pack. And Scrappy Goblin, meanwhile, coming around for 4 points. Capital Corruption now at 138. And that is gonna be the jam. It looks like Witch Slap did pick up 3 points there for the Vixens at the end of that jam. So that is going to be the bout, and our unofficial final is Vixens 114, Capital Corruption 138. Great job, everyone, and I hope that those of you watching from the Mayfair Bar, hope you stick around and wait for us. We'll be there shortly for tonight's after party, Y2K theme. Also, all of you Derby